Well, Joe, right now you are in the kitchen with Lucy, and I can already smell what she's cooking up right now.
Yeah, excited about today's dinner. Quick, easy, nutritious. We're talking about, you know, different areas of shopping. You can always do your grocery shopping and more at Greer's Markets. Lucy, good to see you.
Good to see y'all. It's always nice to be here on a Wednesday.
No doubt. So, what are we working on today?
So, today, like you said, we are doing an easy dinner. We're doing a sheet pan dinner, and a lot of people really love these, and I really like them too. You can mix it up with whatever you have in the refrigerator, whatever proteins or vegetables you have. Today we are doing a pork and sweet potato and broccoli sheet pan dinner. So what I'm doing right now is just cutting up some pork. I bought a boneless pork loin, and typically, you know, in the store, of course, they're the really big pork loins, but we also cut them and sell them in different sizes. So I just bought a boneless pork loin that was cut into, it'll be like either 2 or 2 1/4 pounds, and I'm just cubing it up right now, and it's a really good value. I love pork tenderloin, but this is, you're gonna get that same tenderness, and I just trimmed off a lot of the fat, so it was really lean now, and a really great price. So it's a really good value for you.
No doubt. There's so many options with pork tenderloin right now too. You can buy it as you just described, but they also have the ones that are in the wrapping with the seasoning flavor already on them, whether it's rotisserie or garlic and herb or whatever it is, and you just pop those in for 30 minutes. But this is just as easy. You can make it yourself here.
Yeah. I
have become a huge fan of sweet potatoes lately, but my kids are still not sure about it. How do your kids feel about sweet potatoes?
They like them. You know, I usually roast, well, most of my vegetables in the oven, and sweet potatoes is something that I really like to do. And
so good.
What I've been trying to do is, okay, maybe I'll make like half a pan for Spiro and I with maybe like, you know, more spices, and maybe the other side could be, you know, a little bit more cinnamon, a little bit of sugar on there for the kids. So you're not having to do something completely different for the kids, but just seasoning it up a different way. It's kind of been working at our house. So I cut that up, and I put a couple tablespoons of Dijon mustard on there for some flavor. I'm going to do a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and what we're going to do is mix up some spices. I got the oven on at 425, so once we get this seasoned up, we're going to spread it out and go ahead and get the meat cooking before we get the vegetables on there. So real quick, I'll tell y'all, we have some salt, some pepper, a little bit of chipotle chili powder, some thyme, oregano, garlic powder, and onion powder. So most of these things you just have, you know, right there in your pantry. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of this on our meat. I'm going to sprinkle it and then get it spread out and in there for about 20 minutes. And then next we'll talk about how we put our veggies on there and make it all on one pan.
I like all the flavor you added to it. You added the mustard, you threw in the olive oil, then you added the seasoning mix on top of it. This is going to be so good, y'all, and so easy and quick for you to make for those after-school dinner time meals for your family. Stick around. You don't want to miss this recipe. Lucy, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, we are back in the kitchen right now with Lucy Greer with Greer's Market. She is cooking up some pork, sweet potato, and broccoli sheet pan dinner. And we just finished the chicken. You just pulled it out of the oven. Or sorry, not the chicken.
Yeah,
the
it
pork.
looks like chicken,
It does look like chicken. Yeah, the pork, and it already smells so good. And so I know now we're going to start on the veggies.
Yes, we did it in 2 stages. So we wanted to get a little bit extra time on the pork. So we cut up our pork loin, and we put a little bit of Dijon mustard on there for flavor, and a little bit of olive oil, and we mixed up a spice blend. And I spread it out so it could, you know, get cooking evenly right there. And what I'm doing, I'm just scooting everything over, but I still have it in an even layer so we can make room for our veggies. And I was mentioning to Joe, this would be great because you could use whatever you have in the fridge. And again, it's just our one pan, so we don't have to worry about getting too much dirty here.
I was going to say, that's what I look for in cooking, is that I like cooking, but I do not like the dishes that follow afterwards.
Either. It's no fun. My husband cooked these nachos that he found on TikTok the other day, and they were so good, but he got, I think, every pan in the house dirty, and I wanted to cry. when it was over. So this is, I need to tell him this one.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
if you're going to cook, you can only use one pan. So I just have one small head of broccoli, and I left the florets a little bit bigger because this is going to cook for another 20 minutes, and we don't want them to shrivel up. And I cut up one small sweet potato, and when I like to, when I cook really white potatoes or sweet potatoes, I love to put a little red onion on it. It just gives it so much flavor. If you haven't tried this, this is something really good to try. So I'm gonna mix this up, and then we're just gonna add a little bit more olive oil to our veggies and use the rest of our spice blend.
Perfect.
And pop it back in the oven.
So while you're doing that, I mean, I love all the colors here, some bright colors too that you can bring to the dinner table, get your kids interested in it as well. But I understand that we're talking about the downtown location of Greer's. We are entering onto the 1-year anniversary.
We are. Saturday, I cannot believe we've already been open for a year down there, and we are having things going on all day long. We open at 7 and we close at 10. So from 7 to 10, we're gonna have free coffee and pastries, and we make these Conecuh croissants that are amazing, and they're gonna be only $2 on Saturday. And then from 11 to 3, if you're looking for something to do with the kids, we're gonna have free ice cream sandwiches down there that we make. We have Old Dutch ice cream, and we make the cookies, and we're gonna have a face painter, so and lunch specials going on. And then from 4 to 6, we're going to have complimentary wine and beer and charcuterie, and we're gonna have a champagne toast at 5 p.m. So if you don't have any plans on Saturday, come celebrate at our birthday party on St. Louis Street.
Oh, that's awesome. Fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
And you know, if you haven't checked out that location, I highly recommend doing so. It has a rooftop,
Yes.
a little bar down there, so always a nice place to go and venture and get your groceries too.
Yes.
And so coming back, we're going to stick this in the oven, have it all cooked together, and Joe will be checking that out. Thank you so much, Lucy.
We have our sheet pan out of the oven, and it is looking fantastic. Lucy, remind the folks at home what we're working on today.
We made a pork loin and broccoli and sweet potato sheet pan dinner. We won't forget the red onion we have in there with the sweet potatoes.
Yeah, so you added red onion to the mix, and when you have that combined, that kind of oniony whatever flavor you get mixed with that sweet potato, ooh, that's a tasty combination
It
right
is.
there.
It adds a little more color. So this was so easy. We mixed up a spice blend with just lots of spices you already have in your pantry, and we used Dijon mustard to flavor up the pork. And this is a really affordable meal and something that, you know, will go really far. We a lot of times on Sundays like to do meal prep, and so this would be great for just to do this and have it for your lunch all week. So really versatile, and I think it's something that the kids will go for too.
And so they all cooked together at the same
Yes.
amount of time.
Yep, we did the pork first, and then we cooked it at 425. So
Okay.
we did the pork first, and then we took it out, and then we added the veggies and put it in for another 20 minutes. So it's just 40 minutes total cooking time. And the olive oil and the Dijon keeps that pork really nice and tender. And so it's really a good, full of flavor meal that you can feel satisfied with. You have a good healthy carb in there with the sweet potatoes and lots of good stuff for you. So you can do it with chicken too.
20 minutes for the protein, 20 minutes for the vegetable medley, 40 minutes as a whole, and the entire family will be delighted with this. There you see the plated version right there. It looks absolutely fantastic. Lucy, before we go, tell them what's going on at Greer's. We know we're getting ready for a lot of stuff. The Labor Day holiday is coming up. The football season is right around the corner.
Yes, it's hard to believe. And Jen and I were talking about our 1-year anniversary at our St. Louis Street Market downtown. So if you don't have any plans on Saturday, we'd love for you to come join us. We have lots of things going on. All the details are on Facebook, but it starts at 7, and we have a champagne toast at 5 p.m. So we'll have things going on all day. So come out and check the store if you haven't seen it.
Greer's is the place to be downtown this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Fun for the whole family. I'm going to steal a broccoli. I'm going to steal a broccoli before we go.
Is it hot?
Thanks, Lucy.
Thanks.